Hey friends, it is, I don't know, the 7th. It's Monday. Hi, happy moon day. Wow. Okay. I don't know where this is going. I'm going to warn you, this is going to be kind of rambly and we'll see. You might not even get to see this. Who knows? So, the energies once again have been a lot. We are in the pre-shadow phase for Mercury retrograde. We're still firmly in Venus retrograde, and I don't know if I can speak for any of you, but it's been brutal. And we still have other planets in retrograde. We're just in a retrograde gauntlet, and it's just review, 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 right? The universe just wants us to take stock of who we are, where we've been, what we've learned, what we haven't learned, and we're just being bombarded with all of it. So today I was out in my fairy circle meditating, as I try to do every morning when it's not raining. And I was sitting down and I take my shoes off so that I have nice contact with the earth. And I turned on my Merlin app. It's one where the app listens to what birds are singing in your area and tells you what birds you have with you, and I love it. So I always like to take note of who's with me out there, and I have really bad tinnitus, so I don't always hear them. So it's nice anyway. So I turned my Merlin app on, and I went to set it down in my shoe so that my phone didn't get wet with the morning dew. And when I looked down, there was a piece of a yarrow leaf on my shoe that was not there when I came into the circle, when I called the directions and I created sacred space. That was not there. And it was a piece of yarrow. And it was just a little tip of one of the leaves. So it just looked like a teeny tiny frondy little pine tree in my shoe. And it really caught my eye. And I thought, Yarrow wants to talk to me today. I wonder what Yarrow wants me or us to know. And so I know that that Yarrow is a part of my summer book. In case, for those of you who don't know, I did write 4 books called Earth Deva Oracle. I have one for each season. And it is a journey through your yard and garden. 13 plants, typically weedy plants, that show up for us and have medicine for us. And I sat with the plants and with the devas of the plants, and they gave me a message to share with the world. And this is Yarrow, and I just noticed now that I misspelled her Latin name. Okay, sorry about that. But this was her message: beauty, delicacy, grace. I travel in states of becoming, where pure potential coalesces with magic and mystery. Stardust merges with divine lust. I reach into the infinite and create life. So, yeah. And that really hit me today in a way that maybe it hadn't before, because of all the retrogrades and because of everything that we're processing right now, everything that I'm personally processing right now and trying to figure out, and actually not figure out, but just trying to release so many lifetimes of garbage that have just accumulated in my etheric, things that I've held on to, things that I haven't healed, things that are just hanging on, that are affecting my everyday life. And so it got me thinking. So I went out and I picked a yarrow leaf. I think you can see that pretty well, right? You can see how frondy it is. So the Latin is Achillea millifolium, which means millifolium means million leaves, right? Folia is leaf, milli is a million. And so you can see how she's super frondy. And she has all of these little feather-like leaflets on her, right? And I started thinking about this as being almost symbolic of our life on Earth. And how when our essence decides to incarnate, right, this central stem is our descent. 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, great void, and then 5D above. So when we pass through that great void, when our essence drops through that great void, and we come down into this reality, the 4D, 3D, and below reality of Earth, of the Earth plane, our soul fragments. And this is where things kind of get confusing for people, because time as we know it is not real. Okay, it's a construct. It's something that we created to make sense of life, right? To give it a beginning and an end, to try and like control it and grab onto it and make it make sense, right? Because it doesn't make sense. This is one moment. This entire leaf, our entire life, it's one moment. And in that one moment, these are all the choices that we've made, all the lifetimes, all the timelines, all the dimensions, all of it. One leaf. This is our life. So we drop down. And as we ascend up from 1D, you see there's not a whole lot of life down here. It's kind of murky. And as we start to ascend up, we start having little lifetimes down here in the upper portions of 1D. And then we get a little bit higher up into 2D. And we start having more. And you can see, I don't know if you can, but each little leaflet here fans off, and then fans off again, and fans off again, right? Let's see, yeah. And each of these represents a timeline, and timelines within timelines, within timelines, within timelines. And they're all of our choices that we've made. So, you know, so we start out on like, okay, here I am, I'm born, and I wish you could see this better. Let's see, maybe this will help. So you can see, let's have a bigger one. Like maybe one of these. All right, so you can see right here, it comes out, you're born. Okay, you wake up in that reality and you start making choices, and there fans out into another timeline, and you make another choice and another timeline, another choice, another timeline, another choice, another timeline. Okay, infinity. It just keeps happening and happening with every choice that we make. But it's all still one moment. And so we feel a lot and we get overwhelmed because there's a lot going on that we're not consciously aware of, but it's still happening. And so we start moving up, having more and more experiences. You see right here in the beef of 3D, we have so many, right? So many timelines, so many aspects of ourselves out there, living life, living different lives, living every possible imagination of a life. It's all happening. And then we get higher, and then this is 4D, and this is, you know, we don't have a really good handle on that part. We don't know it yet, but we think of this ascending. A lot of people like to think of this ascending in like a rapturous sort of way. I don't believe in that. That's just not my thing. I don't believe that ascension is about leaving this body. I believe ascension is about expansion. So think of it like one view of ascension would feel and look like a helium balloon, right? And maybe we let it go, or it's on like a retractable line or something, where it just kind of it keeps floating up and up and up and up, and it just floats. It's floating. We're ascending. We're leaving this place, right? We're ascending. We're leaving. We're going up and out. Best association. Let's be clear. Because true ascension is about embodiment. It's about grounding and owning all of this. It's about grounding and expanding so that we can own all of this and bring it here now. We can clear the wounds and the traumas now. We hold it all now in this leaf. That's what ascension is. Ascension is about clearing, getting that energy back, learning from our other selves and our other timelines, and bringing it all and holding it here. It's about coming into our heart soul essence, which holds this entire leaf, the entire blueprint of this leaf, everything that we chose to experience in this drop of time, everything we chose to create in this drop of time, so that we could learn and grow and be better creator beings, because that's who we are. We create. We are magic. We are powerful beyond imagining. And that's why the synthetic matrix wants to control our mind. That's why we're inundated with all the bullshit that we're inundated with on a day-to-day basis. Because once we can hold all of this, we have fully embodied our authenticity, our sovereignty as creator beings. We can't be controlled from this place. We can't. And that scares the people in charge, who like to be in control of us. We're here to remember our authenticity and our wholeness. We're here to ascend into ourselves, fully grounded, fully embodied. That's why we're here. So, Yarrow, also a powerful medicinal plant. She's one of my favorites to have in my herbal first aid toolkit. So she is a powerful styptic, meaning that she stops bleeding. So physically, we know what that looks like. We can all imagine. Okay, we're bleeding. You put a styptic on, it stops the bleeding, it coagulates the blood. She's an astringent. So she coagulates and tightens proteins, which then thickens them. She creates cohesion. She heals. She restores integrity to tissues. She's also an antimicrobial, meaning that she is powerful against bacteria and organisms that mean to do us harm. And I don't know if any of you are kind of following this symbolism of this, or kind of making those connections, but if you're not, I will help in 1 second. She's also a diaphoretic, meaning that she opens pores and helps us sweat out excess heat from the system and toxins and whatnot. So, because the skin is the largest organ, we release a lot of toxins through the skin, and she helps with that. So when we think about this life in this synthetic matrix that we're embodied within, and we think about our traumas, we think about our woundings, we think about our emotional traumas, our physical traumas, our spiritual traumas, we think about our traumas, and we think about what Yarrow helps with if we partner with her. She stops the bleeding. She stops us from bleeding. And we can bleed physically, we can bleed emotionally, we can bleed spiritually. She helps us to find and restore our integrity, not just of our tissues, but of our spirit and our soul and our emotions and our personalities and all of it. She helps restore integrity. She helps us stop the bleeding. She protects us against organisms that seek to harm and destroy us physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of it. And she helps us to sweat out that which no longer serves us. The heat of our anger and our rage, sweat it out. Sweat out the anger and the rage that is becoming toxic within your system. That doesn't mean we're not allowed to have anger or rage, because that would be impossible in this world. If you're not feeling angry about the state of this world right now, then you're probably ascending like that helium balloon and just dissociating, which, sometimes we need to do, whatever. I'm not going to judge you for that. Because sometimes it's a lot, and sometimes dissociation feels really nice. Sometimes we need to check out for a little bit, but it can't be a permanent state of being. If we're going to change anything in this world, if we're going to change our lives, if we're going to change our communities, if we're going to create a life where all beings are honored and held and loved and respected and fed, we can't do that when we're disembodied. We have to restore integrity. We have to reconnect with all of the parts of ourselves and bring them back to that center midline, back to our heart soul essence, back into integrity with the whole. That's what these retrogrades are trying to show us. That's what our heart soul essence is trying to show us. And that's what Yarrow is here to show us. That we are multidimensional beings having an experience planted in a physical reality. We are creator beings planted in a physical reality. How much of ourselves are we able to embody? How much are we willing to embody? We need to answer that question because our lives depend on it. Okay, well, that was interesting. Please like, comment, and share. Especially comment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Yarrow and what I talked about today. And yeah, if you need help with any of this, if you need someone to sit and hold the container so that you can see more of yourself and embody more of yourself and feel more integrity with yourself, I'm available for that. I have the link in my description to my scheduling app. I have a sliding fee scale, so please do not ever, ever let the construct of money come between your healing and me, or whatever, you know what I mean? Don't let that be the thing that tells you that you can't do something, because it is just that. It's a construct. You have more value than money. We all do. If you feel called, reach out. We can always work something out. All right, friends, I think that's all I have for today. I am going to make another video later or maybe tomorrow about a funny awareness that I had this last weekend in regards to magic and manifesting. So keep an eye out for that one. I'll probably post that tomorrow. Okay. Be well, friends. Remember that you are magic. Remember that you are multidimensional creator beings, and we are in this together. We heal together. We love together. We create a new world together. Don't ever stop believing that we collectively can change this world and make it a beautiful place again. Okay. Be well, and I will see you soon. Much love.